So, I know I'm right in the middle of a Caleb and Sophia segment, and I know I've been covering Jehovah's Witnesses a lot more than usual lately. And on top of all that, I'm sick. I don't know if you guys can hear it in my voice. I could have taken time off for Christmas, but I like doing these videos, so I decided to do it anyways. Just bear with me. I'm gonna finish up the Caleb and Sophia videos, and I'm gonna cover more cults. And my voice won't sound weird forever either. But going back to these videos, even for just a couple episodes, is so fascinating. And there's a big plot twist in this one. So let's take another look at the infamous Jehovah's Witnesses bunker videos. Let's get into it. There are a couple of things I want to mention before we watch the first clip. We don't really have much context for what's happening in these videos. Just a bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses sitting around talking about how they keep themselves brainwashed. Seemingly unrelated people. And it's in a room that appears to be artificially lit. I don't think there's any natural light coming in. So let's take a look at this clip and see what happens.
You know, we've been talking about times when our loyalty has been put to the test. And not to put you on the spot, didn't you have an experience?
Mm-hmm. I did. And I don't mind sharing. It was when I was at that office job in the city.
Long pauses make for better acting.
It was just coffee as usual.
Karen, we're making some coffee. Did you want some?
Oh, I love it. The good stuff, right?
Oh, yes.
Thanks. Boy, I can smell it.
And somebody brought treats.
It's wonderful, thank you.
Wait, didn't she just say,
We're making some coffee.
"That's not making coffee. Looks like it's already made. What the hell is going on here? Are they lying to us?"
So how are things going?
But this time she started telling me about her problems at home.
So John, he got a text message from his ex-girlfriend.
No, that must be very hard for you.
Yeah, it is.
You know, there are some things in the Bible that have helped me in my marriage that I would love to show you. I was excited about the chance to give a witness. From time to time, we talked, kept the conversations brief, but over time, the conversations grew. And husbands and family were often the hot topic.
If I may, there's some things in the scriptures that I think...
I still thought I could give a witness and actually teach them something about Jehovah.
No, honey, it doesn't work like that.
All right. Sorry, Karen. Too much information, right?
You know, with a husband.
But in reality, I was the one being taught. And I was a quick learner. I was sure their thinking wasn't rubbing off on me. Until one day when Robert called. The girls knew that Robert and I had had a small disagreement that morning.
Karen, did you want to get a little coffee?
Mm.
No, it's him. If you don't want to talk to him now, then don't. Besides, it sounds like he could use a little silent treatment.
I couldn't believe the effect the association was having on my attitude and my marriage.
Something I didn't mention in the last video that I intended to mention is the fact that this isn't really bad acting. I mean, obviously it's horrific acting, but it isn't about the acting. These people could be perfectly fine actors. It's the personality that Jehovah's Witnesses want people to have. This timid, weak, humble attitude. That's what they convey in this. Now about the clip, what we see is this woman doing her job and talking to some coworkers. Now, Jehovah's Witnesses have always been against hanging out with worldly people in a recreational setting. You aren't supposed to go to the movies with worldly people, not supposed to go to dinner with them or invite them to your house or any of that stuff. Growing up, I was never allowed to have worldly kids over, and I was never allowed to go to their houses either. I wasn't even allowed to be involved in any of the school-sponsored social activities, like being on the sports teams or the drama club or any of that stuff. In this clip, they're leaning into the whole witness to people every chance you get thing. Listen to this.
You know, there are some things in the Bible that have helped me in my marriage that I would love to show you. I was excited about the chance to give a witness.
Every opportunity you find to talk about Jehovah, do it. That's a given. They aren't really even putting emphasis on that. You should be doing it and everybody knows you should. Every worldly person you're around should know about your beliefs. That serves two purposes, whether intentional or inadvertent. First, it informs people about the religion. It warms them up to it, so they know all about it. And two, it creates this divide between you and others. People will either not want to be around you because you talk about it constantly, or they'll be interested enough to join. Now let's check out the next part.
I couldn't believe the effect the association was having on my attitude and my marriage.
But what could you do? You worked with them every day, and you were able to give a witness sometimes.
But I had let it turn into regular, unnecessary association that was spoiling my useful habits, and that had to change. I started keeping things friendly but professional. I was more cautious, as I would be if they had invited me out, or if a male coworker had invited me to join him for a break.
So did that work?
It did, and I was so relieved.
And so was I.
Jehovah gave us the good morals and habits that we have. Exposing myself to bad association was being disloyal to him. When I think how far we are now into the...
Wait, into the what? What are we so far into? I must know. And still this guy isn't saying a word. Head nods only.
How was it out there? It's not good. It won't be long, maybe an hour. Is Kevin with you? He said he's not coming. That he doesn't want to have anything to do with us anymore.
How sad. Now, this far into the Great Tribulation.
There's the big reveal. They believe that they're in the middle of the Great Tribulation. Not only that, but this Kevin fellow has decided to distance himself from Jehovah's Witnesses. Probably because they're acting like a bunch of fruitcakes. Anyways, like I said, I wasn't allowed to be on sports teams or clubs or any of that. But in this clip, they're going a step past that. It isn't just about not hanging around non-Jehovah's Witnesses recreationally. Now it's about not even becoming acquaintances with them at work. She just talks to these people when she takes a coffee break. That's too far now, according to this video. They make a big deal out of the verses, bad association spoils useful habits, and live in the world but don't be a part of it. So not everybody can live on the cult compound, aka Bethel, but you can at least completely isolate yourself from the rest of society. Not only are they trying to communicate that severe separation, but they're also trying to communicate a serious sense of urgency by playing into the whole tribulation thing. They've been saying the Great Tribulation was gonna happen any 5 minutes now for 100 years, and here we are. And they're blaming you if you have doubts. It's your fault. You were disloyal. You have to push through, whether it makes sense or not. You have to trust in Jehovah, trust in the elders, trust in the governing body. Believe them, no matter how convincing the counter evidence is. Here's what the post-video outline for the talk said. At this point in the video, it's now clear that Robert, Karen, and others are deep into the Great Tribulation. Had Karen not previously made the needed adjustments in her associations, she may have lacked the strength to remain loyal in the Great Tribulation. Okay, now let's take a look at the next clip. The opening part in the outline to this one says, in the following dramatization, we rejoin our brothers and sisters who are in hiding in a basement during the Great Tribulation. Notice the importance of working hard to overcome fear of man.
I just don't get it. Kevin knows we're in the Great Tribulation. Why would he say he doesn't want anything to do with us anymore?
Darren, I thought you had heard by now.
I heard what?
When our message changed from good news to judgment, he was telling everyone that it would make problems for us and that he was done.
Okay, right there. That's significant. I've been reading their new book, Pure Worship of Jehovah, on the podcast lately, and they talked about that. The book is basically a dissection of the book of Ezekiel, but they believe in this whole type-antitype thing, where the book of Ezekiel is a reflection of what's to come. So they look at all these really weird visions Ezekiel had, like all this cryptic stuff he did in the book, and they try to interpret it and make sense of it in a modern day context. So for example, in the book of Ezekiel, it says Ezekiel built war machines around a brick on the ground, and the brick is supposed to represent a city. The war machines are supposed to represent an opposing army sieging that city, and all of this is supposed to represent what's going to happen to Jehovah's Witnesses during the tribulation. So Jehovah's Witnesses will have to deal with the world governments forcing them into hiding and hunting them down and all that junk. It's really weird and cryptic, but it's a pretty interesting read, I think. If you want to listen to me read it, you can check out the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, and a ton of other places. Links are all in the description and the card in the corner. So anyways, about this whole good news to judgment thing. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that there's going to come a time when the Great Tribulation officially starts. And when that happens, they aren't going to be accepting people into the club anymore. But they aren't going to stop preaching. They're going to continue going door to door. They're just going to switch the message. Instead of inviting people into the religion, they're going to start telling people the end is right around the corner for them. I.e., the message is going to switch from good news to judgment, which is creepy, really creepy. Knocking on people's doors and telling them they're going to die. No way to stop it. No, come with me if you want to live. Just, you're gonna die. I thought you should know. You know, I'll be interested to see if they ever make that transition. I wonder if they'll ever think they're in the middle of the tribulation and stop accepting members. I honestly think they're one step away from it anyways. It's only a matter of time. Okay, that's all I've got for this one. Next time on Telltale.
What is going on out there?
Holy shit, he talked. I can't believe it. Literally, this whole time, I thought the dude didn't say a word. I thought his voice sounded weird or something. Well, why the hell didn't they have him talking at any other point in the video? This is bizarre. Okay, don't forget to subscribe. Check out my podcast to listen to me read through Jehovah's Witnesses' new book. Also, check out my Patreon. If you like what I do and you want to help my channel grow, you can support me there. Also, check me out on all social media. All links are in the description as always. Thanks for watching, guys.